Welcome to the Self-Care Show with Deidre Sanford. Although holistic and alternative healing methods are becoming more and more mainstream, what method is right for you? How do you find a practitioner once you've chosen to explore an alternative therapy? Each week, Deidre will explore a different modality with practitioners who will explain their modality and the benefits they and their clients have received through their sessions. She and her guests may also offer live readings during the show. Now, your host of the Self-Care Show, Deidre Sanford.
Good morning and happy Wednesday. Welcome to the Mercury retrograde edition of the Self-Care Show, August 2023. It is the 23rd, y'all. It is officially Mercury retrograde this morning. How many of you have been feeling it as it arrived? Because I'll tell you. Good morning, Tim. People have been just losing their minds the last week or so. There's been so much going on the last couple of weeks. It's been a crazy ride, but we've arrived safely and we're sliding right into all of these insane retrogrades that are going on this morning. Lalima, good morning. Thank you for joining us through YouTube. And I've got a Facebook user hanging out here, which is fantastic. Thanks for joining the show today. And yes, the hurricane, I think, as our good friend Jill said this morning, you guys have had a time. Good morning, Lynn. It's wonderful once again to see all of you here. Thanks for chiming in to let me know that you have joined and are hanging out with us this morning. Man, Mercury retrograde. I sent Jill a message and said, hey, I'll see you at 9 o'clock on Wednesday. What was I thinking? No, folks, it's 10. So it gets me too, even though Mercury retrograde is in my natal chart. So I should be feeling right at home and still just functioning right at the top of my game. Who is ever at the top of their game? We're rolling right on through the week, gang. We're already halfway through. Jill and I are looking forward to seeing what we can do to help you get through the rest of this week and, whatever's coming up. So get your questions ready, grab your water, settle yourselves in. This is going to be the August reading show. We did originally have Lori scheduled to be here this month, as always. Unfortunately, Lori has hit a little bit of a health disturbance, and she wanted me to let you guys all know that she's sorry she's not going to be with us today, but she's very much looking forward to joining us next month. In the meantime, please feel free to send love and support and healing her way. She very much appreciate that. So I don't know. Some of you all also watch the Diet's School Through Spirit show on Monday mornings, and Jill was the guest this morning on Diet, or this week, Monday morning on Diet's show. So we're going to just snag her and bring her over to see us here on the Self-Care Show. Jill, come out front and join us. Let everybody see your beautiful face. Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
What's happening in your world this morning?
I'm still waking up. The caffeine is just starting to hit my system. So I'm bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, ready to go.
Yay! Well, thank you for bringing your beautiful energy and your fantastic spirit here this morning. I can't tell you how much I appreciate you being here. I was kind of looking forward to see how this rolls out with all three of us on this show. I'm thrilled that it's just the two of us as well. So it just works out as it's supposed to be. Lynn is telling you good morning. I don't know if you can see the comments over on the right-hand side. All right. I don't know if we're going to be doing medium this morning, but we'll see. And good morning, Diet. It's lovely to see you. Thanks for popping over. So, Jill, you started off the week with a lot of revelations and a lot of sharing. What might you want to bring over to us this morning? It's been a journey, hasn't it?
Yeah, a lot of pressure here. I think for me, I mean, something that over the last like 48 hours, that's really been kind of going in my head is like really kind of owning my story, kind of speaking my truth, and not being and stepping into walking my path, basically, and owning it instead of making excuses. Something I said on Diet's show, like when I just kind of opened my mouth and stuff came out. So I don't recall exactly everything I said, but I do remember, we were talking about Bigfoot.
Yes.
And the documentaries that we were doing. And, in the beginning, I was really embarrassed talking about it because it's kind of weird. But the more and more I got to know people who were experiencing it, it was so normal. And what we're trying to do with the documentaries is to normalize the conversation, so more people will come forward, and they're trying to remove the stigma. And it really hit me, like it'd been kind of going around in my head, but it really hit me when I was speaking with Diet that there was a bit of hypocrisy in how I was living my life. If I was I'm trying to normalize the conversation involving cryptozoology and these so-called, creatures that are very real. Yet I was taking a backseat to myself, and I wasn't being honest. And I was I wouldn't say I was making a joke of it, but I always, whenever it came up in conversation or I brought it up, I slid it in as a joke, kind of like, oh, guess what? And now I'm like, no, and it's part of, I need to normalize the conversation as well. This is all very normal, and it's, my husband and I were talking about it, and I was like, it's like playing the piano. Everyone can play the piano. I'm not saying everyone's good or everyone it comes naturally, or everyone, can hear music as well, but we can all sit down and like hit some notes. Maybe that sounded better when it was just the two of us hashing it out in the living room.
No. I understand.
Saying, right?
I understand what you're saying, and I'm relatively certain that our listeners heard your intended message behind that, and that is that we all know, well, most of us know, that we all have some sort of intuitive ability to hear, see, smell, taste, whatever, things that others can't. But to be able to own that and to step up front with it is a revelation, and we all get there in our own way. And I think it's beautiful that you got to where you needed to get with your own abilities, your own talents, by helping remove the stigma in another direction. And that you saw that happening, and the way that you approached it, and it helped open your heart and open your eyes to your own stepping forward is beautiful.
Thank you.
Popped a comment up there already this morning. Diet just wanted to make sure that you saw, or that you knew, that she said you're amazing.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, you were. It was a fabulous show. And I'm just so grateful and so happy that you're able to come and bless us with your presence this morning. Lee, I did see you come in this morning. Good morning to you. Thank you, everybody, for popping in. Jill, I'm
curious. My cat's joining us too, by the way.
Good. So. Yeah, so it's not a spirit back there. It's your cat.
It's okay. Cosmo. Yeah, I hear you. Okay.
So when the curtains move, it's the cat wanting to look outside. Love it. I'm curious to know what your goal is in this new role that you're stepping forward with.
That is a great question. I don't know. I'm coming in hot.
Awesome.
And I feel like I'm one of those people. I like to internalize everything and really like understand the mechanics of things before I apply myself. And I've noticed the more I try to do that in this world, the more it goes upside down. So I'm not sure. And that's kind of what I'm trying to figure out now. Cause I mean, I've done, I do readings, right? But I've also done, I've done a gallery reading,
Yeah.
and I have another one coming up in October.
I love it.
But for me, like the thing that that is my thing is the automatic writing,
Lovely.
and also like the channeled messages. But I'm trying to figure out. I'm like, so how do I make that? And I'm kind of thinking out loud
Sure.
here. If anyone
Sure.
has any ideas, I'm open. It's like how to make that, how to incorporate that into what I
Hey, Jason.
do. So
But you've done amazing things already by utilizing, let's say, the information that you received from spirit. You've had some tremendous strides, some fabulous achievements in your already upfront professional life. What's your intention when you sit down to read for a client? What do you hope your client gets out of spending time with you?
well, I mean, I'm just the in between. I
Right?
mean, I'm hoping that they get everything they need, whether it's a message and evidence, some like guidance or wisdom that comes through
Mhm.
from the other side. What I just so something that I am working on. I need to get out of my own way and not get involved.
We all go
Um,
through that. Yeah,
I
it
just
happens.
because I have this habit of like I get something from spirit and I'm relaying it, and then I start think it's like, well, what else can I find for them? And it's like I need to like remove myself. So for me, just to come back, I went on a tangent, but I think for me, all I can hope is that what I'm getting as it comes through is the information or confirmation that the sitter needs.
Right.
That's all I can hope for.
Right.
And I hope all I can hope for also is that I show up and get the messages and deliver them properly. Because like I've tried to explain to some people, and you can attest to this, and I'm sure a lot of your listeners will understand this. It is like the most complicated game of charades ever. And I've actually done readings where I'm online and like spirit is right here, and I'm like looking back and forth,
Yeah.
and I'm like, he's doing this. What? And everyone's just kind of looking back and forth, but it was, yeah, it's just like charades, I guess. I'm not trying to downplay or make light of what the work is, because it
Right.
is sacred work. And there is a responsibility, and there is a seriousness that does come with it.
Absolutely.
But I mean, there's also some lightness that can be brought in. And I think for me, in the readings I've done and the messages I've delivered, is also bringing that spark of joy back. Because there's been a lot of people who, there's a hurt, there's a pain, that they're trying to heal. And when you can bring forth a message, or that evidence, just to give them peace of mind that there is something after all this. It's that it's seeing that reaction. It's knowing that I was able to help someone.
Right.
Yeah.
Bringing them hope, bringing them peace, bringing healing.
Yeah.
And just bringing forward the message. And as you say, not our interpretation of the message, getting out of the way. And that can be so hard because we're relaying information sometimes that makes complete and utter nonsense on our side. But yet when we present it as we receive it, it may be clear as a bell for our client. The messages aren't for us. They are, in fact, for our client. We're just the messengers. And it's so amazing and beautiful when we see those messages received, heard, internalized, accepted. I think that's one of the greater gifts of doing this work.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Well, my goodness, everybody. Are you guys ready? We're about ready to rock and roll. I'm just looking for some questions. I guess, I don't know, Jill, are you open to doing some mediumship this morning as well as psychic?
Whatever comes in. Whatever comes in.
Yep.
I'm not in control. They are. So.
Right. All All right. Well, Teresa, we're getting you guys all lined up here. We're going to get to you guys in the order in which you requested, and we'll try to keep up. We do have a limited amount of time here today, so if unfortunately we're not able to get to everyone, you can find us each at our own websites. Todd's already put your website up on in the chat for us, Jill. How do I say that? Is it EOS?
It depends on what YouTube video you listen to and how they pronounce it. I've heard EOS. I've heard EOS. I don't know. Say it with a French accent. Make it fancy.
Woohoo! Whatever it means to you, right?
Yeah.
So it's eosintuition.com?
Yes.
Or EOS Intuition. I don't know.
Hey!
We're just having fun today. I think I'm going to give us each a moment to clear our minds, give our listeners time to clear their viewers time to clear their minds, to pop their questions in the chat. We're going to take a super quick station break, y'all, and we will be right back.
If you're a fan of the paranormal world, then you'll love WLTK-DB Talk Radio. Talk shows bringing you the latest on everything paranormal, cryptozoological, metaphysical, true crime, psychic readings, and more. The truth is here and now on WLTK-DB Talk Radio at WLTK-DB.com.
And we're back. Good morning. Thank you, everyone, once again for tuning in to join us on the Self-Care Show right here on WLTK-DB. I am your host, Deidre, and this is my amazing, fabulous guest, Jill Remensnyder. We're both here this morning to deliver messages from Spirit, whether that be psychic, whether that be mediumship. We'll just kind of roll with it and see what's happening. I know Todd's got a couple of messages starred for us over on the other side, Jill. Anytime you want to pop over to that side of the column, it'll narrow the focus to those people who have requested messages or information from us this morning. Michelle, good morning to you. How are you? Ariel, it's nice to see you, and Kara as well. Thank you so much for coming in. Self-care is so important, isn't it, Ariel? She's on her way to her massage. I would love to have a massage.
Lucky.
Right?
Yeah.
It's beautiful. And what a fabulous form of self-care that is you're practicing, Ariel. And Anne, good morning to you as well. I am going to kind of just let loose of the reins here. I've already promised Todd I'd keep my fingers off the keyboard from here on out. Jill, let's open the floor, and let's open the doors and allow Spirit to drop in and visit with us this morning. Yes.
Can I say, okay, so we had a little, during our morning time, miscommunication when I was sitting here.
Mercury retrograde.
I started getting something, and I had to write it down, but I don't know if this applies to anyone or where it came from or what I'm in store for, but I got this vision of a 3-tiered cake, like a pink cake, like a birthday cake. I even tried to sketch it out, but
Awesome.
I don't know. So that's been kind of bumping around my head today, because I'm always open for cake, but for some reason I felt the need to express that to you.
Well, I'm glad you brought the message.
I don't know where or what, but cake.
I think it's really kind of beautiful that at this time when everybody, Kara, is it Kara or Kara? My apologies if I mispronounced your name. I believe you had previously asked for a reading in the comments this morning, but Kara is saying her birthday is tomorrow. So who knows, Kara, maybe your Spirit acknowledging that you need to have birthday wishes and a fabulous celebration. And Anne said she had birthday cake at a party. But that just goes to show that even if we're not in the time frame of responding specifically to your request for information from spirit, y'all pay attention. We're all here together today for a reason. And even though the message appears to be being delivered to another specific individual, the information that comes through might just apply to you as well. Or maybe even a friend, right? Somebody will say in a day or so, oh my God, I just heard them talking about this. Somebody, Jill, that psychic medium that was on the self-care show, said some beautiful message. And now I know who it's for. I was supposed to deliver this message to you. We're all here together for a reason, folks. Keep your ears open and see what else might apply to you as we're reading for other people. All right. Jill, I love that. Thank you. And the illustration was fantastic. No idea you wrote this. That's cool. We got a few people over here under the starred column. I've popped over and kind of focused my attention in that direction for a minute. If there's anyone there, Jill, that you feel drawn to read for, feel free to just shout it out. We'll pop it up on the screen for you. It's always interesting when we can just kind of grab it and gravitate towards someone. Oh, there she goes.
For Anne, who's asking about, I don't know the protocol. How do we do I just read it out?
Sure, go for it. No, I just popped it up on the screen for us too.
Look at that. Gosh, technology is working. You know, my eye went to that one. I felt that one. It feels like, I feel like the money or the finances, it feels like what they're showing me is it's going to come in from a different direction. Like literally, like I want to focus over here. Like over here is where the event took place, where the money was taken or displaced. But I feel like you need to redirect focus, because the money or even the opportunity for those finances are going to come in from a different direction. It's going to come in from a different, I don't want to say venue. What's the word? Different, not platform. It's a different revenue stream, a different avenue. But when it feels like since you're so focused on what happened, you're not being open to the other ways the money can come back. And I think it feels like what you're focused on is the actual, like that transaction to come back. But I feel like it's like Spirit says you need to like pull yourself back and be aware, like how it's all interconnected. There's like an ebb and flow to how everything works. And as that goes off, another opportunity will come in and everything will balance out.
Very cool. So we need to take, I think that's actually kind of applicable to almost all of us at any point in time. Things don't always show up the way we expect them to. Mm-hmm. So wider stance in life, be open.
And I literally feel like I'm looking like, I feel like Spirit is like taking my head and like going, you need to look over here. And I don't know if that's literally like behind you, or there's something that's not within your peripheral or within your sight right now, or hasn't come to be. But it feels like whatever took place, it will be replenished. It will be repaid in a different form.
Beautiful. And we hope that helps. I'm going to leave that sit right where it is. I think you're all over that one. Anyone else that grabs your attention?
I do want to comment really quick on Ariel's message about getting the massage. I keep hearing lymphatic massage. So I don't know if that's part of the plan, but it feels like there needs to be, I keep seeing like they're doing this, like clearing the drainage. So not that that's like a out of this world message, but
no, but it's cool because as you said that, I could feel kind of a heaviness maybe a little bit of sluggishness. And I don't know if it's just resting in the energy field. I think we're all maybe feeling that way a little bit. So it's good for all of us to remember that we just need to clear. In fact, this morning, all of a sudden, about half an hour before the show, Spirit's like, yeah, you need smudge. Okay. I don't have time for this. Yes, you do. Okay. But by clearing the energy field, we're also helping to make way to clear the physical form even more. And that heaviness and that sluggishness feels like it's not just preventing forward motion in life and preventing things from growing and expanding, but making you, Ariel, feel like you're maybe a little bit stuck. And that can help free up the movement within our system, within our energy field, just kind of give us a clearer path toward taking a couple extra steps. There are things that are opening for you. I don't know, I feel like you're looking for a general overall shift in your sense of your relationship to the world, not necessarily in your relationships, but how you show up. And to what you were saying, Jill, I feel like releasing that heaviness, helping create more flow in you physically and in your energy field, which is intricately linked, helps you kind of take the blinders off. You know, we feel like we need to keep moving in one direction consistently in life, when sometimes the thing that we really need is to go ahead and not even use our turn signal, but just go ahead and make that change. Turn right, turn left, instead of going forward. And that alone can open up new avenues and new doors for us.
Shake things up.
Yeah, I feel like there's a work shift, and it may be even staying in the same career, just shifting to a different position within that career that helps open. It's like feeling stuck in what you're doing. Like it almost feels repetitive. And there's an opportunity for you that you're shying away from. And I think if you consider stepping more fully into that situation and just imagining yourself sitting in that shift, it allows you to feel those shackles release a little bit, so that you're allowed to maybe bring just some more creative expression into the work that you're doing. Okay. Well, thanks for getting us started with that, Jill. That was really awesome. Very fun. I love being able to just sit back and see what jumps out. Lee, I'm going to grab your question only because it got my attention. I personally am not a dog person, so my response would probably be more from real life scenario. And that is that although we all understand that winter is a little safer in the crate, should there be some sort of a disruption on the road or prevent Winter from jumping out of the car when you stop and make a pit stop. I want to give that practical advice to you, but I understand there's more to it. I'm feeling that there's calming music that Winter would enjoy hearing. I don't know. And it's not necessarily what you would expect to think of as calming music. Because normally I reach for the solfeggio music or some sort of a meditation music for that, but this is something different. And you sing as you're driving down the road, don't you? You sing along in the car. I think that also helps Winter relax. Why do I feel more like 60s and 70s music? I got music going on here in the car, Lee, with you guys, and Winter's just kind of settled in, but he's listening. And I think if you watch almost imperceptibly, there's a little bit of paw tapping that's happening. Personal recommendation is hang on to that crate. To your point, the question for helping him be more comfortable, I just keep hearing music. Jill, what you got? Anything you want to share?
What I'm feeling is I'm seeing this dog sitting in the passenger seat, kind of like under the impression that they're
In charge.
they're a person too, and not understanding the need to be in this crate. It almost feels like I'm getting the vibe of like having to deal with a toddler also. And so, gosh, it almost just feels like you really just need to have a heart to heart with the dog. Let Winter know it's for her own, her safety and best interest. But I keep I think also I'm seeing like it's making me think of like going through like the Starbucks drive-through and getting the little puppuccinos or whatever.
Yeah.
It's like there's when the dogs aren't in crates, they have access to people in the cars. Of course, we know that isn't safe, but I feel like I have this vision of this dog in its crate in the back and feeling removed from the action. So kind of like with the piggyback on what Dieter was saying about the singing and stuff, I think it's just a conversation, reassuring that you're not left behind. I'm going to keep you, I'm going to keep the conversation going with you. I'll keep you looped in. But I really feel like it's like this attitude of almost like going head to head with a toddler, having to explain why they have to be in this crate.
Yeah. Lee said she hasn't gotten the crate yet, but the dog tends to hide on the floorboard. So I can see that's the removal, right? The energetic removal or the spatial removal of mom and pup. So I get what you're saying with like seeing him in the back. It's just significant of the removal between the two of them, I think.
Yeah.
Cool. And then Michelle Krantz popped in and she's saying that they actually have safety belts for dogs. I can't personally recommend it. I know Jill seems to not want to recommend that you let the dog just hang out in the car where they want to, because we know that's not necessarily in their best interest. But hey, Michelle's got an idea there for you. Safety belts for dogs might be something worth looking into, or even just a harness that might help keep them better in their seat. I don't know what all the ins and outs are of that. I hope that helped. And Lee is saying, yeah, oldies but goodies. Or Courtney says oldies but goodies. So that's kind of fun for the music in the car. Thank you for that validation for us. Yeah. Hopefully that answered all of your questions about your road trip there, my dear. And I'm going to reach over and grab my cards because for some reason I'm being nudged to do that. So I'm probably going to slide out of frame here for a second. Ms. Jill, you were...
I'm trying to read all the questions.
I know, right?
Multitasking is not my strong suit.
Right. I'm with you. That's why Todd's over there starring all the questions for us. Did you look under the starred column over where it says comments? I am on one side and then starred. He's got those narrowed down for us.
It's like sensory overload, folks.
Welcome to my life. Sorry.
Just kind of need a minute to get focused. I'm going to actually shift this so I'm not looking at the chats right away because I get distracted. And then I want to read everything and just forget why I'm here.
That's why it's a chat, right? We can talk back and forth about what's in there. That's awesome. Lee, just by the way, Courtney's grandmother said 94.4 FM might be a good option for all of that. Lee says thank you for the advice. I'm going to pop back over to the starred column myself and see who we've got. Lalimi was the first person who was asking for information today, guidance and predictions. Lalimi, did you have anything a little bit more specific, or are you just looking for sort of a broad, whatever comes through for you type reading? Your initial comment makes me feel like there's something specific you may be looking for there. Miss Lalimi. Yeah.
I just got the word. I'm hearing about a journey, and even though what I'm being shown is it's a road going through the country, it makes me feel like I think it's supposed to represent like a mental vacation, almost along with self-care, kind of like diverting. And right before journey came to me, I was seeing like a traffic jam. of all these people like stuck on the freeway. But what I'm feeling like is like, I heard journey and I saw a car like take the exit, and it's going down a country road covered with trees, and it's all green, and it's making me feel like there's a need to step away from like all the chaos and noise and kind of just tune in with yourself, get out in nature. I mean, that nature is like the cure-all for everything. And just take some time to like clear out all the extra noise and just heal. So I don't know if you have like a park or some wooded area near you, but just being able to get away from the rat race, remove yourself from it's showing me like buildings and like cubicles, and it's making me feel like the busyness of like the busy work of the day, like removing yourself from that and catching your breath, away from others, and taking time just to kind of energize and like get back to feeling whole again.
I think that in a great, very broad way, which was the original request, kind of addresses your opportunities, Lalini, for figuring out. She's also told us that she's confused in her career and in love, both. And I think at the end of the day, all of that ties together, because, when you're trying to make a decision and big changes in your life, or bring in a relationship that you feel you can hold on to and be held safe within, that's the place to start, is dropping back, maybe finding a way to energetically drop out of the busyness of life for a little while and go within and ask yourself what it is you would rather open further or step further into within yourself, within your life. I feel like this urge for you to shift in your career might be rather new, which is actually beautifully in line with these energies and all of these retrogrades that are coming on us. Like, oh, I'm comfortable with where I am, and if I make a change, I might not be making as much money and my lifestyle might be affected. But my question to you then would be, how much more at peace would you within yourself be on a daily basis if you could make that shift? And giving yourself the opportunity to step away, be with yourself, disconnect from the busyness of daily life, and go within and ask yourself, what is it you at your core are really needing to bring more of into your daily work? I'm seeing like this busy frenzy with the keyboard and shuffling paperwork and back and forth, and the stress and the overwhelm. That's just kind of what I feel like you're feeling on a daily basis. And disconnecting, taking that step back that Jill is talking about. Why did you get into that particular position to begin with? Let's go back there, because I feel like this job kind of took on a life of its own and pulled you into certainly professional success. But let's drop back and redefine success. If we define success as doing things that are truly connected to who we are at our core being, this position has pulled you away from that, but that's where it started. Let's go back to where it began and see how that feels. And once you're more settled within yourself, you'll be able to create more room in your external world to bring in another soul to connect with whom to connect, is actually what they're telling me. So back to what Jill was saying, disconnect, step out in nature, get back in touch with yourself at the core, and ask yourself what you're missing. Where do you need to go back to within yourself on a more regular basis in your life to feel more comfortable in your own skin? And I think if you look at being able to connect with yourself more closely on a daily basis, you can find a new definition of success that can help you find the direction that solidifies, brings all those things together. That was a lot, but I hope it helps you. Where did all that come from? Nice job. Her guides just came in and dropped all that fun stuff right in our laps. Okay, Lalima says she's contemplating moving country. She said it's accurate. I'm a doctor, but I still feel something is missing, and the zeal would definitely do the same. So good. Yeah, thank you. I'm glad we saw that. Did you get more of a response for her based on her additional information?
Are you talking to?
Yeah, sorry. It's almost like I can feel this genuine need to care for and help other people that maybe brought you into the medicine world, and perhaps Western medicine is a little too rigid, a little too not addressing their full system, and instead addressing parts of who we are. There's a lack of connectedness with your patients that's driven by the need to justify your thoughts, your actions, your decisions, your tests, or you're not testing, driven by outside forces, shall we say. And I feel like your spirit is being restricted in its attempt to truly help other people in their healing process.
I kept hearing trapped, and I kept seeing like a Venus, like the Venus flytrap plants, and kind of like you can kind of see the struggle within as it's happening, and it feels like it's like you're aware that of your situation, that you're, I don't want to say stuck, but there's restrictions that aren't letting you become your fullest. I feel like, going from that busyness out into nature, there's something about like, get back in touch with what you set out to do. It's a trap.
Yeah. Back out in nature, get back to the core of why you got started and what you're doing, and follow that in a different way. I think you'll feel more fulfilled with that. Lelani, we're gonna let you sit with all of that. Hopefully you find some peace.
And can I jump in really quick, Deidre,
Sure.
before you?
Absolutely.
I'm looking at Carrie Ann. Do you have any guidance for me for the next few months? I felt really pulled to that one.
Sure.
I'm really feeling like I'm feeling transitions as we're kind of, we're going into fall. It's that weird, like that idea of harvest and being able to enjoy the fruits of your labor. And I don't know if there's like a wedding coming up or like some big celebration that is coming up, but I feel like there's things are building up for a celebration, and being surrounded by like-minded people. And I say a wedding just because that's how it makes me feel, but like with the dancing and the laughter and just also like in an outdoor setting, but it feels like all the hard work is going to be paying off soon. So I don't know if that's in your personal life or like how things have been building, like at home or at the work, but it feels like there's going to be a breakthrough, and like all the struggles or challenges, it's like you're going to be able to come out like you're going to come out on top, and it feels like it's like a wave cresting. If that resonates, if there's anything there. It just feels like there's this beautiful sense of I don't want to say completion, but like I said, kind of reaping the rewards of the work and being able to finally enjoy everything that you've been going through.
Super cool. Awesome. Carrie Ann, I hope that helps. I love it. The fruits of your labor are coming to fruition, and it's time to drop back and celebrate is what I heard from you there, Jill.
Coming up, and it feels like this is over. It's here, end of August. It feels like this is over through the next 2 months. I'm seeing like September, October. So I don't know what you have planned for the next 2 months, but I have a feeling something's going to shift. It's going to be great.
Awesome. Good things are coming. Get ready to celebrate. I love it. Okay. We're glancing through the list. Catherine Jean. She's looking for insights. And it just kind of jumped out at me. I knew it was there. I think it's funny. We talked about how readings can tie together, right? Information from one person may also apply to a situation that you're looking at. And the first card, it jumped out of the deck. I just been sitting here shuffling. The card I got when you were doing the previous one, by the way, was distance. So I love that that kind of worked together. The first one I got, Catherine, for you, that jumped out when I pulled up your name, is observation. And it's sort of telling me that, like so many of the rest of us right now who are in all of these infinitely changing and shifting energies, so many of us are feeling the drive to make major changes in what we're doing with our lives. And it's not something that we're prone to do. Society doesn't encourage us to suddenly turn left when we've been going straight. I don't know why that analogy is there. Hopefully that applies to somebody. It's come up twice now this morning. So change is in the air, and it's not going to necessarily feel normal to you to want to make a sudden change. My suggestion would be keep your eyes and your ears and your heart open. If you can stand back and kind of become the outside objective observer of the things that are happening in your life, there's a plot twist coming that's available to you, but it's going to arrive suddenly. And it almost feels in my tummy like a stirring in my belly that is maybe just a little feather that's saying, pay attention, pay attention. That's interesting. Pay attention. Follow that. Observe how your body reacts to the idea of that. Try to visualize that happening or you stepping into that shift. Then ask yourself, as I stand in that shift in my mind's eye, how do I begin to feel in my body? How does my energy feel? Observe how you're feeling in different circumstances. There's something that you'd rather leave behind, and you haven't quite figured out what that is yet. By observing how you feel in that energy, you're going to be able to pick and choose what you retain in your immediate circle as you move forward and what you move toward. Pay attention to your body. Jill?
So what I was being shown, and it's my guides are like, explain this thoroughly.
I love it.
Catherine, Jean, it's like almost like I'm seeing like a farm setting or a ranch, and like with the barn and the house in the distance, and you're out in the field, but you're repairing the fence. And I keep hearing repair and rebuild. Mm-hmm. And it's kind of and it's like you looking out and having this vision of what you want and like what you're envisioning for this ranch or this homestead that you're making. And I think that can be applied to life. Like you want to take the time to like identify and just get really clear on what you want, and make the adjustments, repair and rebuild where necessary, but you don't need to throw out and like burn everything down to start over. You have a great foundation. It's just having that vision to bring it forward. And it might be, it might be a journey where you're on your own, and it isn't until you start. It's like build it and they will come, kind of like in Field of Dreams. Everyone thought like, what is he doing building a baseball field out there? But they will. I have cats fighting in the background. Don't mind me. Once you start taking those action steps, everything will start to fall into place. It's like if you can dream it, you can make it happen. And that's what I'm saying. And it may take a while, but I do see that like, it's that idea of like, seeing the forest through the trees, like you're having to work on this fence post and like doing barbed wire. And it's kind of like, how am I going to do this? It's one step at a time, but the devil's in the details. And, you have to make sure that fence, that perimeter, that everything is tight and secure to make things happen.
Awesome. I love it. Catherine, Jean had just said, I just wrote that I am change maybe an hour ago, and she's felt so many things coming to a head for her. Feathers are everywhere. And now, as you were speaking, she typed in, okay, she's got goosebumps. And I'll close that one out just super quick. I'm not going to give a lot of detailed explanation because I don't think it's necessary. But 2 more cards jumped out of the deck for you, Catherine. One is direction. I think there might be backwards, but one is direction, and the other one was displacement. So yeah, we got shifts going on. We got changes coming up, and I think it's beautiful. You've got some amazing things in your path. You got a lot of really great things going on right now. Can't wait to see where that all goes for you. Jill, I checked in with Todd real quick, and we can get one more reading in here for today. I'm going to step back and allow you to feel through and find the one that you'd like to bring up.
Let me see here.
Doing that, I will just mention that Jill's website, eosintuition.com. Did I get that right, Jill?
Yes.
That's already in our comments, eosintuition.com. You can find Jill there for private one-on-one readings. She is running a 15-minute reading special.
Right my mini readings. Yeah. Get a little taste.
15 minutes for $15, y'all. You can grab that one, or it sounds like some of y'all might be super interested in a little bit more in-depth reading with Jill, and those options are available to you at her website as well. Michelle says, thank you, Jill.
And Michelle Krantz, I'm feeling drawn to you, and I'm seeing I feel like I'm in they're showing me, I feel like I'm in a bookstore, but not like a Barnes and Noble or anything like that, like a chain of retailers. I feel like I'm in a cozy little dark bookstore, the kind, and I'm hearing like forbidden knowledge, but in a good way. Like you're surrounded by like all these beautiful books. It's making me feel like you're searching for you're searching for answers. You're looking for information. It almost feels magical. It feels like you're looking for that little extra something to add to your life. And Spirit just said you have to water the flowers to make them grow. So I feel like whatever it is you're out looking for, that little bit of knowledge, that extra little thing, don't be afraid to go searching in dark places for it. And I don't mean dark like dark, but, it's okay to go, the road less traveled to find out what you need. And what I'm seeing is, because it's these beautiful like dark blues and purples. It feels so cozy. But it feels like out of that, when you get what you need, you can come out of that, and there's going to be like a lot of growth and a lot of colors. And they keep showing me like flowers blooming, which for me, usually when Spirit brings that through, it means that there's going to be a lot of growth and development personally.
That's so awesome that for the final reading of this evening. Hey, Stephanie, thanks for coming by to see us this morning. For our final reading of the morning, you were able to bring forward something so empowering and so beautiful. I love it. I feel like her seeds are already there. She just needs to keep tending to that flower garden. Like you said, water the flowers. That's beautiful. Jill, is there anything else that you'd like to add for us about where to find you? I know you said you've got another gallery coming up.
I have a gallery coming up in October. I still don't know the full details on where and when.
It's happening.
Meanwhile, yeah, next weekend, Labor Day, I will be just outside of Dallas. I will be speaking at the 2nd annual CryptidCon, talking about Bigfoot. And then I will be at Phenomicon in Vernal, Utah. Later that week for the world premiere of A Flash of Beauty, Paranormal Bigfoot. And that's going to be a wild ride. It's a fun one. And that releases mid-October on a streaming platform. So I'll be running around doing that.
And not wearing a Bigfoot costume.
No.
I don't know where that came from. Guys, if you missed it, Jill is an incredibly talented, multifaceted individual. Monday, I almost said last week, Monday on Diet Renee's show, School Through Spirit, Diet and Jill dove much deeper into her world of production. And the most recent documentary that she has alluded to this morning, A Flash of Beauty, Bigfoot Revealed, right? Did I get it right? If you haven't had a chance to see that, if those kinds of things interested you, go catch that. You can find it on several different streaming platforms. Before the second one that she's now speaking of, comes out in October. Hey, Mercury retrograde. I'm just going to blame it on Mercury retrograde and leave it there. In the meantime, Jill, you are amazing. You're beautiful. You're lovely. Thank you so much for gracing us with your presence today. Todd has popped your website into the chat underneath the show again. Thank you again, each and every one of you, for joining the show this morning, for trusting us to help provide some insight, some knowledge, and some support to your lives. You can reach either one of us at our websites for private one-on-one readings. We will be back again next month with Lori B. In the meantime, we wish her lots of love and lots of healing on her journey as she works through her process right now. I missed her dealer today. Super, super excited to have the ability to bring Jill in with us today. Coming up for me next month, I'm going to be at the Illuminate Festival in Naperville on September the 24th. September the 19th and 20th, I will be in Bloomington, Normal, Illinois, also with the Illuminate Festival. With that, you guys, we are going to wish you a fantastic, beautiful day. Hang on to your hats. Too many planets in retrograde to count right now. Jill, thanks again. I'll see you backstage in just a minute. Everyone else, have a wonderful day. Stay cool, stay hydrated, and keep your hats on. This has been the Self-Care Show on WLTK-DB. Have a beautiful Wednesday.
The truth is here and now on WLTK-DB Talk Radio at WLTK-DB.com.